Alright, quick video here to show you guys how I made my template to cut the hole here for my Kreg router lift. So the issue that I was having is this is a 3/4 inch radius. The other plate that I had for my other table, it's a 1/4 inch radius, so all you really need to do is put 4 pieces along the side on the outside of your plate. Hot glue them down, take a 1/4 inch radius pattern bit and just follow along, and what you're left with is 1/4 inch radius corners. This one being an 1.5 inch circle, 3/4 inch radius. If you had a much larger bit, obviously that would work. I don't have a pattern bit, bearing, bushing, anything that size. And then also if you're using a bushing, something like this, and you put a smaller bit in, you're offsetting your cut. So the outside of the bushing will follow whatever it is that you've got as far as your pattern, but the bit on the center is actually cutting offset from that. So you're changing the size of your hole. So this Kreg one definitely complicated it for me. Maybe there's an easier way. But what I ended up doing was I took 4 pieces about this size, stacked them together, so I made them exactly the same, stacked them together, and that enabled me to put it in. I've got a mill and was able to put it in my vise on the mill and take an 1.5 inch Forstner bit and drill holes straight down the center. So I ended up with something along the lines of this. I then took it over to the table saw and cut them apart, and the problem is out of each one of these you're only going to get one piece, one corner. You can't get all 4 corners because by the time the 1/8 inch kerf of the bit comes through, you no longer have a perfect circle. So I got them set up and got these guys cut, so one piece out of each of those corners worked as my corner here. And then I took my router plate, put it down, and then I fit all these in here nice and tight, and I cut these pieces to go in between. So I got everything super snug, got all those pieces cut all the way around, and then I glued, there's one missing right here, but glued all this down, ran it around and cut it, and came out with this. So now this is a perfect template for the router plate. Super tight all the way around. And now I will take this, put it onto my table, and I'll cut it. I could have just done it with the initial pieces that I had that I was showing you. One reason I didn't want to is because it's a lot of little tiny pieces. I thought, maybe if my hot glue breaks away, or if I've got a variation in height between some of the corners because I'm gluing so many pieces down, maybe my template wouldn't come out perfect, or maybe my hole wouldn't come out perfect. So therefore the plan was to cut that template first. Now I have one piece I can put onto my table and one piece that I can use to cut with. Real quick video here. Obviously there's lots of other videos out here on YouTube, but I didn't find anything that showed any ideas on how to cut these larger radius corners other than one guy that was using a laser that I don't have access to. So hopefully this helps.